So welcome or welcome back, whichever one happens to apply to you. Before I get into the rings, there's a couple odds and ends I'd like to cover, starting with some clarifications from last time. If any videos are ever sped up or slowed down, I will attempt to make note of that for transparency reasons. I'd also like to make some dates known for transparency reasons as well. So I talked about going back to the gym, and I looked that up, and the first day I went back to the gym was August 18th of 2025. The crouching thing that I learned to turn into a handstand, I learned that on September 21st of the same year. The skating video you saw was from December 19th, and the handstand video you saw was from December 20th. Now, the other point, and I didn't realize this until afterwards, is that when I talked about slicing a stick figure with planes, that may have sounded a bit violent, but it's really not. A plane is a math term, and you can really think of it as a piece of paper that can't bend and extends infinitely in each direction. So let me shrink myself down here for a moment. I'm definitely not an art major, but this is hands down the best stick figure I've ever drawn. And as you can see from the smile on his face, he's not in any pain. So I know this angle is a bit odd and it's kind of hard to see, but plane 2 is running through his right shoulder and plane 3 is running through his left shoulder. There's another plane, plane 1, that's going through both shoulders. I'm not going to get too deep into this right now, but there's a theory I'm going to present at a later date that involves these planes. So before I get big again, I'm going to present my personal prerequisites to attempting a handstand on the rings. And I know I talked a bit about them in the intro video, but now I have videos and some more words I'd like to share with you. So the first of those 3 things is dips on the rings. And this video is from November 14th. And this may seem counterintuitive, but I found dips on the rings to be the easiest of these 3 things. And I think in large part, drawing your arms in reduces any sort of shaking from side to side. All you have to contend with is front to back. So the next thing would be push-ups on the rings. And I did find that to be more difficult. This video is from October 13th of me doing flat push-ups, but I also did incline and decline push-ups as well. So the third thing would be handstands. And this video is from September 28th. And I think going up slowly in this fashion is what really helped my control, and that really did help on the rings. Now that said, I have moved forward onto the rings, but I still do these things. I have not abandoned the exercise entirely. So let's get big again. So as far as the setup I have available to me at the gym I go to, there's some wooden rings hung off some pull-up bars. I grab a few thin mats and put them underneath it. And other than that, I try to keep the rings as close to the ground as possible so that in the event something does go wrong, my head just doesn't go crashing into the ground. And as far as what I'm going to try to do is just keep my feet off the ground and do whatever I can. As far as scoring goes, I think the most obvious thing would be how long can I stay up in the air. Perhaps less obvious would be how many times my feet hit the ground. And obviously that's not going to count the one at the end because what goes up must come down. And at some point maybe I'll think of other things to add in the scoring column. So now is the time we've all been waiting for. I'm going to shrink myself down and we'll get to it. Okay, so this is the very first attempt. Let's go. I'm trying to put my knees on my elbows and go to a handstand from there, much like I do on the ground. It's proving very awkward. I also don't know if I should have my hands open or like a closed fist. Oh, we got it, but my knuckles are kind of dragging the ground. So let's pick this thing up a little bit. Again, I'm erring on the side of having it too low because I don't want my head to fall victim to the acceleration from gravity and go to the hospital. And I'm also kind of checking to make sure these things are level. I think having one higher than the other would prove to be a bit of a challenge. So get this thing adjusted. Get the buckle back up top, and oh, here we go. We're off the ground. It is very shaky. Doesn't even remotely resemble a handstand, but it's off. Feet are off the ground, and we're back down. Trying open hand, off the ground, back down. Yeah, very shaky. I mean, again, very first attempt, and that was the end of the very first attempt. So let's go over to the scoreboard and add that entry of 19.7 seconds in the air. This is combined with 4 touchdowns in total. And in this case, unlike football, touchdown is not really a great thing. So if we move on to attempt number 2. Okay, attempt number 2. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's still shaky. We're going with the closed fist approach here. Oh, my head kind of touched the ground. And I guess that's it for that one. And we can go back to the scoreboard. And that would be a whopping 5.5 seconds with 0 touchdowns. So on to attempt number 3. Okay, and now we're on to attempt number 3. And definite head contact. I'm still trying to figure out if I prefer an open hand or a closed fist. I mean, we're doing something. Well, we were. Breathing very heavy because this is draining. And we're back. And now we're not. And we're back. And now we're not. So, let's go back to the scoreboard again. That would be a whopping 17.9 seconds with 3 touchdowns. So, on to attempt number 4. Okay, 4th attempt. Now, in between this and the last one, I did pick the rings up just a little bit more. My head hitting the ground is kind of a sign to me that I do need to pick them up, so we did. But here we go. Okay, we're up and trying to get some leg extension and back down. And back down. I'm not going to count that double hop as 2. I'm going to be kind to myself. But yeah, that's it. So back to the scoreboard. We can add 9.9 seconds and we'll say 2 touchdowns. So on to the 5th one. Okay, so 5th and final attempt for the day. Let's see how it does. I mean, well, getting very shaky. I mean, probably about worn out, to be honest with you. Yes, based on the heavy breathing, I'm going to say worn out. And we're trying more. It may not look like much, but honestly, if your arms are shaking at all, you're probably doing something, has been my general experience. So back to the scoreboard and let's add the last one. So that's a grand total of 15.1 seconds with 1 touchdown. And in total, we blew past 60 seconds, but that's it. Let's make myself big again. Okay, a few takeaways and I'm gonna get out of here and go to bed. I know I initially proposed myself the question, how hard could it be to really do a handstand on some rings? And as it turns out, it's pretty hard. By my count, I was up in the air for 68.1 seconds and touched down 10 times. I will say I don't feel like I'm straining, but it is draining. And this definitely needs a lot of work. I also think the rings probably need to come up a bit more. My head is still awfully close to the ground. And as far as that goes, that's really all I've got for this one. As always, feel free to check back in or not. Up to you.